I'm sure this has happened to you. You're working towards a goal and you have all the motivation and momentum in the world, and then something happens and it throws you off. I bet you tell yourself, well, it wasn't meant to be. That's not true. That's life testing our willpower and, most importantly, our resilience to move onwards and through that difficulty. Resiliency is the ability or capacity to bounce back from challenges, setbacks, or difficulties. I would argue even come back stronger. Let's be honest, life is hard. You can only plan so much until something unpredictable happens. If you gave up or slowed down every time you were faced with a challenge, you would never reach your goals. That's why it's so important to practice resiliency, train and increase that capacity within you to overcome challenges when you're faced with them and come back even stronger than before. If life were easy, everyone would be successful. It's only up to you to bounce back from these challenges and do the best that you can. Of course, there are certain privileges that some people have over others in specific situations: socioeconomic status, educational privilege, racial privilege in some situations, and even ability privilege. And yes, these privileges can make life easier depending on the situation, but you can only focus on what you can control. It's easy to get caught up blaming others or blaming the situation when something bad happens. But at the end of the day, all you're doing is you're wasting time and energy that could be better spent overcoming those challenges. Worrying about things you can't control can also make you feel stressed and anxious. And we all know how difficult it is to feel motivated or get things done when you're feeling stressed and anxious. Instead, reframe that mindset and in every situation, ask yourself, what can I control? And focus on working towards those. Life is hard. Life is really hard. And the only way it becomes easier is if you start to learn to feel comfortable with the feeling of being uncomfortable. Let me say that again. Learn to feel comfortable with the feeling of being uncomfortable. Resiliency is that capacity that you're training in your brain. Every time you overcome a challenge, it becomes easier the next time you try to do it. And what you do is you build this capacity, you increase this capacity over and over and over again until you don't even think about it anymore. And then when you're faced with a challenge, you spend way less time compared to before trying to overcome it. You look at successful CEOs, millionaires, billionaires, they failed the first few times they tried to go big with the company. Only through practice, experience, and most importantly, resiliency did they get to where they wanted to. Something else to keep in mind: most of these successful people, they're over the ages of 35, 40, 45. Success doesn't come right away. It comes with hard work, practice, resiliency, and going at the same thing over and over and over again. Again, if it was easy, everyone would do it. We need to learn to be resilient and do the best that we can with what we can control. So if you're feeling constantly hopeless with life because of the challenges, one way you can help yourself is by training your resiliency capacity, because everyone can do it. It's like a muscle in your brain that you train over and over and over again. This is part of the work I help people do. And if you feel like you're someone who can benefit from some coaching on resiliency, I would love to be the one to help you out. More tips to come in future videos. If you like this video, please give it a like, subscribe, and thanks so much for watching.